Nick, it's great to see you, man. Happy New Year. I got to ask how the holidays were for you. You guys have been great for us because what you guys did over the Christmas holiday and New Year's, man, and having to make sure that we all had a good time, it was amazing. How were the holidays for you, my friend?
Well, listen, Rudy, I think the holiday lights at Castle was an extraordinary experience for those who were able to actually enjoy it. Obviously, it got cut short a little bit with respect to the COVID situation and the increased contagiousness of the virus. But it was a great program, and for us, it's great because we know next year everybody will be able to enjoy it. I think we've experienced, like many others, being COVID lockdown. I actually got COVID just before Christmas and actually spent Christmas and New Year's by myself because that
Oh,
was a 10-day period I had to go through. And look, we're here to do whatever it takes to get through this period of this virus, and it's been challenging. But look, we're still mostly healthy. I think there's an end in sight. I think we all have to work towards that end and focus on getting there.
brother, I am so sorry to hear. I'm so glad that you're feeling better. But yeah, this thing is hitting a lot of us. I want to go into that in a moment, but one of the things I am happy about is, man, you guys, Liberty Entertainment Group, you guys received an honor, and it's kind of funny because in our last interview we kind of talked about this, and now it's been made official, man. What a way to kick off 2022. What's the honor, my friend?
Well, listen, there always is some light being shed on the darkest times, and for us, Liberty Entertainment Group, our restaurant, Don Alfonso 1890, our Italian fine dining restaurant, received a great recognition out of 50 Top Italy, which is the premier rating system in Italy, and they named us the best Italian restaurant in the world outside of Italy, number one in the world. And, we as Canadians should be very proud because although Don Alfonso is a partnership with Ernesto Iacorini and Alfonso, 3 and 2-star Michelin chefs, they came to Toronto and really it taught a team of Canadians. It's great Canadian chefs in the kitchen, great Canadian front of house team, and they've provided their experience and knowledge. And our team took up the challenge, and very quickly, within a year and a half, became the best Italian restaurant in the world. Not only recognized by us or Canadians, but this is actually recognized by an organization out of Italy. And listen, I'm Italian. I have family throughout Italy, and I've been receiving calls of congratulations from Milan, from Venice, from Rome, from Naples, where I'm from. It is an international award. Don Alfonso has put Toronto on the map for the culinary scene, and we're extremely proud to have received that award.
Now, I know things as we speak are closed up right now, but when things open up, where exactly is the restaurant and what is it like to go there? What's the experience like?
Well, recently, because of the pandemic and some closures, we had to pivot and move Don Alfonso into Casa Loma. And our pop-up restaurant is in the conservatory of Casa Loma, one of the most spectacular rooms in the castle, with a beautiful stained glass rooftop, with numerous florals and some great artwork. It's a spectacular room within the castle. So the ambience in itself is world class. It's a great sense of arrival when you arrive to Casa Loma and drive up and see a spectacular castle. And I can just imagine the people from Italy who came to rate this restaurant. It was an experience they've never had before, from start to finish, driving up to a castle, which nobody would expect us to have in Canada and in downtown Toronto, entering the castle and experience one of the most beautiful rooms in the castle, stained glass dome in the conservatory, which was from 1910. The bronze doors as the entryway to the restaurant are actually bronze doors made in Italy back in 1900. And so that experience alone in terms of sense of arrival, and then sitting there and getting the best service you can from our team, and then the most incredible culinary experience from Daniela Corona from Italy, who's our executive chef, and the rest of the culinary team. It's world class. I believe that from day one. Now I think the rest of the world is starting to see that. And, receiving accolades from an Italian prestigious ranking system speaks volumes to how quality Italian food this is, because it's not the kind of Italian food that Torontonians may be used to. It's not a classic dining experience. It's what Italy is doing with food right now. It's a contemporary Michelin style dining experience.
Amazing. Congratulations to you and your team and the family. Absolutely love this, and it's a great thing to hear, especially because again, as we speak, Ontario has been shut down again. I want to tell you something though. You have a restaurant in Yorkville, correct?
We do. Chiba
There,
Wine Bar on Yorkville.
I was there on Tuesday, the day before, of course, things shut down. It was my girl's birthday. We went there. Food was excellent. I had the Americana pizza, which I love. Um, and it was a great experience too because I loved seeing because it's an open concept and seeing where the cooks are, making your food and everything. And I had such a blast in watching one of the chefs throwing up the dough to make my pizza and everything. Can you talk a little bit about that a little bit more too? Because, like I said, great wine, great experience, great staff, great everything.
Well, Chiba wine bars are a classic Italian restaurant. So classic ingredients, more like, to be honest, a lot of the ingredients are what my mother would make. And she's 90 years old. Thank God she's healthy and fine, but still making homemade lasagna, homemade pizzas, the homemade sauce. So a lot of the inspiration from that comes from the classic traditional Italian food and having the open kitchen so people can see the freshness, because that's what's important. Great quality, fresh products, and it's a simple cuisine, but it's got to be done a la menu, and it's got to be done fresh, and it's got to be done right. So when you order prosciutto, it's sliced at the moment when we're putting it out. So that is the Cibo brand, and again, it's that classic Italian food. It's going very well. We have 3 of them in Toronto, on King Street, on Yonge Street, north of Eglinton, and obviously the one on Yorkville. But it's been a great experience. With the Don Alfonso, we want to provide to Toronto community a view into what Italian cuisine is today, because as our cuisine has evolved over the years in Toronto, it has so in Italy too. So a very different experience, both Italian restaurants, both very authentic. One classic, and one is very new, modern edge style of cuisine.
And I want to add in too, it's a hot spot during TIFF because I've been to many parties downstairs there. So great
Thank you.
spot to go to year round. But I was also glad too that we were able to go there before the shutdown.
Well,
What
Rudy,
is
I want to say this. I think Torontonians have been extremely supportive of restaurants. I know none of them want to see us close down, and they empathize with us and sympathize with us. And the Tuesday night. Thank you for attending the Cheap on Yorkville, but all our restaurants were full because patrons wanted to show their sign of support, being out on a cold Tuesday night in Toronto to say thank you for the service, and we look forward to having you back. So thank you to all Torontonians who went out and supported, the restaurant community.
does this make any sense of shutting down restaurants and also gyms too? Because I'm a gym rat and I like to go to the gym, and to me, it's been the safest place to go to because everything is always checked properly. What are your thoughts behind this? Because it doesn't just affect you; it affects other restaurants, affects mom and pop places, and it affects Torontonians, throughout, and people in Ontario because is a way to socialize and get out and go somewhere and enjoy your time.
Well, Rudy, I don't agree with what the situation is currently and having this full lockdown. But I'm not a medical expert. I'm not running the province or the country, and sometimes we have to defer to those experts. And I have had conversations with Doug Ford and Premier Doug Ford and Mayor Tory, and even in the federal level. What this really is they're working on an abundance of caution. And I just need to explain to the people out there what this really means. The government is looking at the number of people who have been vaccinated and not vaccinated, and the percentage of those people that will need hospitalization. When we have 17% of people in Ontario unvaccinated, with a 1 to 2% chance of those people having serious conditions, needing to be hospitalized or needing to go to ICU, that small 17% can overwhelm our hospitals. I think that's ridiculous. I think this is why we have a different situation in Canada versus the United States. We don't have the infrastructure in our hospitals to take care of those people. So instead of building hospitals, what they've been doing is trying to get the vaccines so people won't need the hospitals. We're not there yet. This latest lockdown is about slowing down the virus so that they can really take care of people who need hospitalization. But when you look at the crux of the matter, it's basically saying, it's the unvaccinated who are actually, causing this lockdown at this point, because those unvaccinated people have a higher likelihood of needing a hospital and needing ICU, and they're going to overwhelm the system. So I don't know, from a medical perspective, this is the right thing to do or not. It's hurting us. It's hurting the industry. It's hurting thousands and thousands of people. So, I'm not a doctor, but I've gone out and got my vaccine because I have to trust the medical system. It's just like, when I work with my chefs, I don't tell my chefs what to do. I look at every individual plate. I do a tasting. I like it or not. But, when it comes to the specific ingredients and what they do with it, and how the textures are and so on, I need to defer to them because they're the experts. And I take that as a lesson in life. I defer to the medical experts saying, this is the best course of action in a pandemic. I'm following those guidelines because I don't believe in a conspiracy theory. And you know why I don't believe in a conspiracy theory, Rudy? Because I don't believe that every government, every agency in the world, around the world, can get together to come up with this idea. They can barely get through their day-to-day activities in their own jurisdictions. Imagine them trying to come up with this world plan to have a vaccine. Makes no sense. And, to me, that's why this conspiracy theory, I don't believe they can, sometimes some governments can't run the city they're in, or the province they're in, or the country, never mind working with other governments to come up with the same solution, and that being a conspiracy theory to get everybody vaccinated.
What do you say about to the smaller restaurants? And we talked about this just before we started this interview. I've got a good friend of mine, her husband, who owns a restaurant, who never had debt before, but once this pandemic hit and the shutdowns were happening, now he owes a lot of money. What do you say to them who are now really struggling, trying to get the loans and having to pay them back, but hard to pay back because they don't have the money coming in? What do you say about that, or to them?
Well, it's been extremely difficult for all of us. And, my focus in the past, 3 weeks when this pandemic hit was not about, crying about being locked down and figuring out, how to get us reopened and how to object to all the government mandates. My focus has been speaking to the provincial government, literally speaking to the finance minister and saying, restaurants are being hurt right now. We can never recover the losses we're going to have, and we need help right now. And as of today, I got a text from the Minister of Finance of Ontario. They today announced a $10,000 grant to every business that's been shut down. Now, this is a grant which doesn't have to be paid back. So, focusing on that kind of thing helps. So anybody, your friends in the restaurant business today, should go out there and apply on an Ontario website to get a $10,000 grant, which they don't have to pay back, to help us get through this next period. I believe that's a proactive approach, from my part, in terms of I could be complaining and trying to shut down the government. To me, it's okay, government, you're doing something to us that hurts us. How can you help us? And the Minister of Finance has stepped up to the plate immediately and now has given us a grant, which is does not have to be paid back. They've given us a deferral on our HST, which is great, gives us 6 months to when we're open to be able to pay our HST back. They've given us, breaks on hydro, and they've given us breaks on our property taxes. Those are all things that we need to help us through. And you know what? It's going to hurt, but I think this is the last leg, and we're going to get through it.
And what do you want to say to the folks out there? We talked about Tuesday. A lot of us came out to support. What do you want to say to those folks about when things do finally start to slowly open up? Or even during the shutdown, there's still takeout going on. What do you want to say to folks out there? Hopefully we'll be participating in that.
Well, here's one important thing. And I reach out to all of you. And this is the most important time ever. Reach out to your restaurants. Go on your apps on your phones. Order in from those restaurants. This is our only lifeline right now. It's the only business we have. And, I daily look at our results from, the takeout orders and so on. And those are very important for me. Why they're so important to me is is we're not making money at it. This is not a revenue generating exercise for us because there's not enough income to make money at it. But what it does is it allows us to keep our employees in the kitchen. It allows us to keep our managers in the restaurant. So by having takeout, I'm able to gainfully employ those people and keep them active in the restaurant. So that's critically important. The other thing is Blue Blood and some other restaurants have the ability to have heated patios. Please support those. Our heated patio at Blue Blood is extraordinary. It's at the castle. It's got incredible views. So you can still have some dinner. I know it's Canada, middle of winter, but if you put on your coat, we have a heated patio. You can still have dinner in some of those areas. So I reach out to all your listeners to say, please continue to support us. We've got probably a month or so to get through this. The more you support us, the more of us will get through it. And look, we're in it together. If we're in it together, that's what we're asking of the general community. Support the restaurant community.
Amen to that, my friend. Congratulations on this great honor. You guys so deserve it. I am looking forward when I can return to any of the restaurants with Liberty because they've all been great over the years. And I'm looking forward to because you know that once things start opening up, your chefs are going to be just like, I got to get in there. I got to create. And the food was good before. It's even going to be better as things slowly start to open up again, my friend. Thank you so much for this.
Can I make one other comment, which I think is very important? And again, I'm asking for empathy and sympathy from the general community. And you won't believe some of the things that are happening. People have the ability to go online and make comments with respect to whether it's an award to Don Alfonso and comments like, well, who gave him that award? Or, not really. Well, this is an international award, not given by us or by a Canadian institution. It's given by people who came from Italy and sat in our restaurant and ate our food and went through a meal, gave us the best meal of the year. Those naysayers should be looking and saying, those are experts making these decisions. Maybe we should divert to those. I also want to make a comment to those people who are online making negative comments about slow service, poor service. We had a comment, and this is mind-boggling to me. We had a review come in saying they were in our outdoor patio just the other day, and they gave us 2 stars because it was a little too cold on the patio to be comfortable. Well, listen, you're coming out to the patio to support us. Please don't, criticize the restaurants who are trying their best with limited number of employees, with limited resources, with having to put you outside, and then you provide negative comments. It's uncalled for. I believe that anybody going to a restaurant, you have nothing good to say, don't say it at all, because we are in a crisis and we need your help. We need to be empathetic human beings. We need to support the community. We need to support each other.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't understand people who want to throw out negativity. And right now, we need a lot of positivity and love going on there. And like you said, support. And you've got my love and support, my friend. Thank you again for this interview. And like I said, I'm looking forward to returning back to all of your facilities. Thanks again, my friend.
Rudy, looking forward to having you. Looking forward to welcoming all of Toronto to Canada's and the world's best Italian restaurant, Don Alfonso 1890 at Casa Loma. Thank you so much.